set this love free. So long ago, the new dawn, the innocent we can carry on. But tainted by the cuts of the blood moon, I silently fell into distant agony. Trust in love but lingering in pain. The broken face was always the same. It can't be helped, you reached out for my hand, but I slipped through the cracks, my desolation. Hold tight into my heart, don't let it fade away. And trust in the time we have, but still it breaks. No solace for the breaking of my wings, a silent song no one hears to sing. Wandering alone in the lost days, oh, I'm waiting for peace, my atonement. Though I wait for your touch, you disappear. How can one simple hope bring salvation to us all? Yet the sinners, they laugh, and yet the sinners, they fall. In this illusion, the pain makes it real. Can you blame us for just wanting to feel? Cry for the end of life, bask in your misery, and cut up the proof of life, what's left of your body. Cry for the end of life, if you could wait and see. Wait for the sun to rise. Is it too late for you and me? So hold me close, my dear, for the last time. Let's linger in the primal light. A trace of you lies deep within my dreams, where angels are laid to eternal rest. If memory is fading away, I'm still alive for what I sought. If you open your eyes, I shall wait there at the edge of the earth. Will you set me free? Broken wings, fallen in the snow. Blood red flowers shimmer as they float. Melodies flowing through my memories, echoed out from the ghost of goodbye. Golden moon fallen from the sky, silver tears hanging from my eyes, stars alight drifting through the empty I made a friend within frozen light. Pain will shelter my
Okay, hello, this is, Alchemist Zethiel VSinger. This is the first time I am on the, ZETHIMOCHI YouTube channel streaming. I am not on my main channel. And I made the background, I made the background different for today's stream also. Is it just me, or, like, something looks a bit weird about the background? Let me... Is that just how it looks? I guess so. Hold on, I kinda wanna adjust, like, my, how my VTuber appears on the screen. I think just like that might be good. Just like that might be good. I'm gonna, like, ramble for a bit before, we actually move on to the main thing, because I'm gonna wait for everyone to roll in, hopefully. So yes, I think maybe just a quick overview first. Yes, so like I said, the reason I'm hosting this on my side channel is because there are certain risks and there are certain risks I learned in the past from my past quote-unquote mistakes. I wouldn't say it's a mistake, I would say it's a learning experience, because I wouldn't say what I did. Why am I being roundabout still? I wouldn't say what I did is necessarily a mistake, but rather it was see, it's not a mistake in the sense that I was in the wrong for wanting to do that. It's a mistake in the sense of, you know, in terms of channel growth, wanting to take... It's a risk I cannot take personally. So, Toumei Tea Time, the topic, or the name of this series. I will definitely want to do more Toumei Tea Time, but today, first Toumei Tea Time, we will be going over the reason why Toumei Tea Time exists in the first place. Hold on, I'm just, like, adjusting my mic here. I feel like it's gotten a bit... Yeah, it's a little bit weird. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait for everyone to roll in, hopefully. Yeah. I think I'll just yap about my day so far. My weekend, I suppose. So, yeah, I did not see you guys for the weekend, but I was live streaming on Sunday for the Yutaite Showcase channel. For the July Rewind, Day 2. Very nice to see everyone's musical singing contributions as well. Very cool, very nice. Always a pleasure to host and showcase everyone's awesome music and stuff. And uplift everyone, you know. Yeah, being able to something I really pride myself on, actually, that I think part of the reason why I was brought onto the Yutaite Showcase stream team is because I have a really okay, I need to adjust the mic again, because I just heard the plosive, and no, I just heard the boom boom. Not only am I pretty good with you know, being able to praise people, find their like positive points, but also because like I have a bit of a like bit more advanced vocal description skill. Like I can like describe voices more specifically and easily than like other people. I think this is like a skill I've like found myself exercising. Like it's Toumei Tea Time. I'm allowed to be a little bit more abrasive than I usually am. When I was a bit more active in like the vocal synth Vocaloid community, there will be people who are like, I can't tell the difference at all between this type of voice bank and this other type of voice bank. They just sound exactly the same to me, and I'm just like, what are you talking about? This voice bank clearly has like a husky tone, while the other one has like a more deep tone or whatever it is. I would always be able to like figure out, oh, but this vocalist like flips into like the head voice at around this range, this vocalist belts more, this yeah, so that's the stuff. Yeah, let me just also adjust my camera while we're at it too. Adjust my camera and mic. Just make sure everything's fine. Okay, this I do not like. I do not like how my camera is positioned. Hold on, I need to adjust it. Now, why do I do this to myself? Okay, this is a bit better, I think, for... Even if I lean back, I think it's fine. But then I need to, if I do this, would it be fine? No, it's not fine. Move here? Yeah, maybe that's fine. Yeah, so yeah, I think I'm very good with being able to pick out those different kinds of like vocal nuances and stuff. Yeah, so that's what I was doing on Sunday. Over the weekend, okay, no one is like home right now except for me. My roommates are out. But yeah, some cool stuff, some busy stuff happening with the roommates. I cleaned my room last night. Finally got around to sweeping the floor and everything. Yeah, usually I don't care about like CCV, but I feel like right now I kind of have to pay attention to it before I like dive into the actual topic. Yeah, let me take a look. Let me take a look. Yeah. We don't have people yet. That's fine. I'll just continue rambling. Before we get into the main topic of the stream. Yeah. So yesterday. Yesterday was Monday, not Sunday. Yesterday, I went out to get like a haircut. So, because I feel like my current hair was just kind of like, it had grown out a bit too much, and like I kind of messed up on like the color and stuff. So I'm just like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. So, my hair is my IRL hair is short for the first time in like 3 years. So yeah, that's that. What else? Oh yeah, I updated the ZETHIMOCHI, not ZETHIMOCHI, the Alchemist Zethiel gallery on Toy House. So currently Toy House is the most updated version of the Zethiel gallery. I'm very, very thankful for everyone who you know, makes fan art and stuff like that. Very cool. So yeah. What else? Before we move on to the main topic. What else can I talk about? Anyone here a fan of alchemy or whatever? Okay. I'm trying to think of like what other things I did. I think like okay, back to like Yutaite Showcase. Like the cool thing about Yutaite being a host on Yutaite Rewind is that I'll also might be able to like discover new songs I might like because of like people might cover it and they're like, oh, thank you for being like my introduction to this song. And like the first version of that song I'll hear is like maybe like a cover in like a completely different language from the original. And they're like, I'll go check out the original. And I'm like, damn, this is a banger. It's like, damn, this is a banger. Why am I still like insisting on being say so? I think it's just a force of habit. I think it's just like a force of habit that I'm like still preventing myself from like cursing, even though this is literally Toumei Tea Time. This is literally ZETHIMOCHI channel. I don't have to be filtered. I don't have to filter myself. Literally one of the original, I was debating what names to call this series. It was between like, I knew I wanted it to be Tea Time. Unfiltered Tea Time. I think that was one of the names I wanted to go with. Unfiltered Tea Time, because like, you know, unfiltered tea, that kind of evokes like the image of like, you know, instead of like filtered tea, it's like a different like taste or whatever. But I felt like it kind of felt a bit too heavy, I guess. The other name contenders were Clear Tea Time, because clear tea is a type of tea, and Transparent Tea Time. Transparent, starting with a T also. But I think because, you know, transparent, I'm gonna be transparent about like my issues and like my personal life and all that. But I think I ultimately settled on like Toumei Tea Time, combining like clear and transparent, and also kind of like keeping like the onomatopoeia, the alliteration. I think it's like, yeah, I think it's alliteration. Keeping the alliteration more pure than if it was transparent, because Toumei, Toumei Tea Time, instead of transparent tea time. Yeah, so what I was saying, and yeah, I decided I would be using like the night background for this instead of my normal like blue background. Night background. Because it's different. Because it's different. Yeah. So that song I learned that I've learned from like the Yutaite Showcase thing. Wait, hold on. I'm just noticing something. Why am I cut off like that? Hold on. No, I literally just saw it on like my stream preview. Okay, there we go. So that song that I learned from like the Yutaite Showcase was Silver 30 from by the Karamazovs from the Needy Streamer Overdose, Needy Girl Overdose anime. I was really surprised by like both of like, okay, all of like their songs, the Karamazov songs composed by Haraguchi Sasuke. Like, oh wow, of course Haraguchi Sasuke is like a genius, that goes without saying, but like it really shows in like the versatility of like all the 4 songs, how good he is at like the being able to like adapt to like different styles when it comes to like being commissioned and stuff. So that was really cool. Like, wow, all of these are by Sasuke Haraguchi. That's awesome. But Silver 30, let me talk about Silver 30, because that was the song that I heard as a cover on Yutaite Showcase, and then I was like, oh my god, this is so good. This is literally so good. So yes. It had like this it's like this EDM like party kind of vibe. Kind of like Tsumitobatsu. I really am a fan of Tsumitobatsu. They're from Girls' Revolution Project of Kamitsubaki Studio. Of course it's Kamitsubaki Studio. Everything always comes back to Kamitsubaki Studio for me because they were the first thing I ever got into. Not first thing I ever got. The thing that really spurred on Zethiel to become who he is today. I owe it all to being inspired by Kamitsubaki Studio because they have such a wide range of good music. It's really good. Anyways, I was surprised like Sasuke Haraguchi. I mean, it makes sense because like based on like who is in Sasuke Haraguchi circles, and like the type of stuff he does, I think it does make sense that like he would be able to make like a song like that. It has like that club party feel, really nice EDM, party dark vibe, sort of like diva dance floor, whatever. It's like this. I've been listening to it on loop. 30, like it's like silver on my lips tonight. 30 is my price. I don't know. The vocalists are also really, really good. I need to know who did like the vocal direction on that because I swear it's like top tier vocal direction. I really love it. I really, really love it. And I really love they have like a more like androgynous, like deeper vocalist in it. I feel like you don't really hear that a lot nowadays. It's always like everyone has to be like a girly girl or everyone has to be like a boy-y boy. Why can't we blend the genders more? We need to that gets me my segue into today's topic. We need to blend gender more. We need to blend the gender the blend more. You know, I'm thinking about how like my model is like not very like I'm not very broad shouldered. I'm not very like I don't have like the narrow eyes of most like masculine models. And I think that's also kind of what gets me like mistaken for a girl sometimes because of like, my model. Like I have the long hair, I have the big eyes, I have the slender body frame. But that's it's just based off of me. Just based off of like the similar kind of body build I have in real life. But I would consider Zethiel and my real self to still be separate entities, more or less. Yeah, I think we need to get funkier with gender, just overall. I'm doing my part. Hashtag be shonen world domination. Am I right? Hashtag, I was about to say something, but then like I just like the reality of me being able to say it on stream just started settling in. Because I'm not going into like the main topic yet because like I'm still waiting for people to roll in. Maybe I should just like dive into the topic at this point instead of like doing the funny Brizatsu rambling. You know, I ordered Wingstop over the weekend and I was like, but then like because like my roommates got like busy and stuff with like other stuff, we suddenly got like a whole deluge of leftovers in our fridge. And I'm just like, okay, well, I guess I don't have to like order takeout or like order anything or cook anything for the next like few days. I just remembered I still have some adobo in the fridge. I cooked it myself, but I want to add like more ingredients to it. Like I should add some potatoes. I should go to the store, buy some potatoes. It's like I also forget that like I need like stuff like because I was thinking like, oh yeah, I guess I'll just impulse make some adobo tonight because I have a bunch of like this was like last week or something. I was like, oh yeah, let me just grab some like chicken thigh fillet, deboned, boneless chicken thigh. Let me just grab some boneless chicken thigh. And And I have soy sauce and vinegar at home. I can cook some adobo. I completely forgot that I need like garlic. I need like, you know, I have black peppercorns. I'm fine. I have no, because I have bay leaves at home too. I didn't have bay leaves last time I cooked adobo. So I was like, I forgot I needed to get the garlic. I needed to get like the onion, stuff like that. So I just threw in like garlic powder and onion powder and like hope for the best. It still tastes good. It still tastes good. But it's just like, you know, I forgot adobo needs more ingredients. I know, I feel like I only know 3 or 4 dishes I know how to cook. Because it's either like seasoned baked salmon, sinigang, or adobo. The meat for sinigang and adobo can depend on what's available. Sometimes it's pork, sometimes it's salmon for the sinigang. For the adobo, usually it's chicken. I think one time I tried to put some of like my leftover like what is it? I had some like hot pot slices in the fridge. So I tried to put some of like my leftover hot pot slices of like pork belly into the adobo. I don't think it turned out very well because like I think I overcooked it. So it wasn't very pleasant to like eat. Maybe I should have like just dipped it in hot pot style instead of like just putting it in and cooking it straight up. In any case, yeah. Yeah, I made some matcha. For my own caffeine. I was like, yeah, I got matcha yesterday from like the thing is like the reason why I'm having matcha right now for my caffeine is I don't have anything else. I don't have coffee. I need to go out to buy more coffee. But I do have matcha. I have my matcha packets. So I was making some matcha. You know, I'm somewhat, my alchemist qualifications IRL are that I'm like a programmer. I'm an aspiring programmer. So I have like some of like that logic mind for like scientific stuff, you know. And then I also was like a barista for a few years. I made my job was making boba drinks, milk tea, teas, smoothies, stuff like that. So it's like kind of feels like the modern day concocting the potions. You know, cooking is chemistry. So yeah, we do a little alchemy. Like for real. In any case, I think I'm not gonna worry about like the viewers right now. I think I'm just gonna dive straight in to our topic for why we are here for Toumei Tea Time, 30 minutes into the stream. Yes, so probably as I talk naturally, people will come, or I'll just clip it. I'll post it. I'll clip it. I'll definitely post the unfiltered clips to Blue Sky and Tumblr. Twitter is a maybe. I think I'll post the clip to ZETHIMOCHI channel. Title it something inconspicuous, but then post that link. Post that link over to Twitter. I think that might be the move. I think I might also promote the clip on my main channel, but it'll probably be like a disappearing post. I really don't want to take any risks. Okay. Toumei Tea Time is officially starting. And I have my script here. The last 30 minutes of yapping was like absolutely unscripted. Just to fill time. But you know what? We're just gonna get into it. Hello and welcome to the first Toumei Tea Time. Things will be a bit more serious on this stream, and there is a reason why this is not going on my main YouTube channel. There is a reason why the Toumei Tea Time series exists, and why I want to talk about these things, and why it's not going to be on my main YouTube channel, and why I have to delegate it to a side channel. Twitch, I don't care. I really don't care. I think Twitch probably won't snipe me for it. Oh my god. Getting into the main topic of the stream. I was about to say it earlier, just so casually like that, but I'm so used to filtering myself on my main channel and not mentioning it at all that it's getting a little bit nerve-wracking getting to actually say it, even though it is literally on my Blue Sky, it's literally on my Tumblr, it's literally in my character lore. If you look into it, it's there. It's there. It's obvious if you know what is going on there. If you've seen my voice banks, the lore behind my voice banks, the lore behind why I am an alchemist who changed my voice and body. It's obvious what I am, but I never say it because because of what happened to me, because of that quote-unquote mistake. The lesson I learned many years ago about why I can't say it if I want to, if I want to keep my channel, if I want to succeed. So, oh my god, I'm getting emotional. I literally have a script, but it's like, it's just only settling in. It's only settling in for me that I'm actually going to talk about this. Lord, give me strength. Okay. So, Toumei means transparent. So things will be more transparent and unfiltered here. More serious and more personal. I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. Oh my god. I think I'm just really scared because I've spent so long avoiding saying it, because even before I started streaming, when I started Zethiel 4 years ago, I knew I can't mention it even if I wanted to badly. Okay. I vaguely alluded to it in my New Year's retrospective stream, I believe. But I vaguely alluded to it. But I was able to kind of get the point across about what I was talking about without saying it directly. I still have not said the word at all. The 33 minutes. Okay. Okay. I am very... Oh, I'm already getting emotional. I'm already getting really nervous and anxious, and just the reality of actually talking about it more transparently is settling in. It's only just settling in. I kind of sound like a broken record right now. I should probably just get into it. Point number 1. The whole entire reason I am here. I am transgender. It's crazy to be able to say that. Oh my god. I'm transgender. I am a transgender man. I have transitioned from female to male. I have been on hormone replacement therapy. I have been on testosterone medication since 2019, and I am referred to as a man. I have so much left on my script and I'm already getting emotional. Oh my god. That's so important for me to say, because it's also a very big reason why I have avoided talking about it or mentioning it at all. I think I've been a bit more lax to mention lesbian, gay, yeah, bisexual. I think I've been a bit more lax to mention sexualities, but for being transgender, that's something I'm a lot more scared about. I think when Nea Poli was guesting on my stream, they are non-binary. They are they them. Gnosia, that game has explicitly non-binary characters. I think I had no issue with telling people Nea's pronouns are they them, even though they look more like a girl. The characters in the game, some of them go by they them, some of them are non-binary. I had no problem with that. But when it comes to me personally, I think because I was so impacted by this specific event, this specific quote-unquote mistake, that it just gets too. And Nea Poli is not like a big part of like my channel, because they're just a guest. They're very close friend, absolutely, but it's not like they're in the majority of my content. So it was something I worried less about. But however, Alchemist Zethiel channel is about Alchemist Zethiel, and if I mention being trans on Alchemist Zethiel, on the Alchemist Zethiel channel too excessively or too brazenly or too proudly, I'm afraid I might get I might ruin all my chances of growth from that point on. Because of what happened to me in the past on my PL, on my past life. Oh my god, you can hear me tearing up already. But that's why we're here. This is a very, very important topic to cover. I need to slow down. My talking. I'm getting so angry. I'm fine. お水助かれ。Damn, electrolytes taste amazing. Okay. Alright, point number 2. Reason why I do not say I am trans on Alchemist Zethiel YouTube channel, on Alchemist Zethiel Twitter even, is that on my past life, I tried to make a trans singing positivity video, but it completely shadow banned my channel and it was no longer viable for growth. This is why I absolutely refuse to take any risks on my new channel to say I am trans directly. But it's really messed up that all I wanted was to create a video about trans positivity from my perspective of singing, of finally being on HRT. But the video itself kept getting randomly privated and the comments kept randomly getting turning off without me doing anything. And from that point onwards, my channel the views were totally tanked from that point forwards. I couldn't do anything anymore. I couldn't grow properly. The algorithm wasn't picking up on my videos anymore. All the hard work I put on it basically went down the drain, all because I wanted to spread trans joy, trans positivity. I wanted to share my euphoria in how happy I was to finally start singing on HRT, and how my voice was changing at long last. And I was really happy about that, and I am still happy now that my voice has changed so much and been able to develop into the voice it is now. I'm so happy and thankful for that, truly. But it breaks me down that I can't talk about it in great detail, in pride, in being out loud about it, because I'm just scared that my channel will just no longer grow. If I dare talk about it, I'm afraid that every single video I make from that point onwards will essentially just get lost to the algorithm again, will not be seen by people again, will not be discoverable. My channel will not be that discoverable anymore. I was afraid. I'm really, really afraid still. That's why. But that's why we have to talk about it. That's why I have to make this side channel to be able to tell people about the story behind why it is I refuse to talk about it on my main channel. But the reason why I still want to be as trans as I possibly can as Zethiel on the main channel without mentioning it. Water. So, on my previous channel, I had to give up all the hard work I put in over the years to get 4,000 subscribers and hundreds of thousands of views from that point forwards. After I made that video sharing my joy as being trans on HRT, YouTube just totally killed that joy. And YouTube is the main platform I use to grow my music. So it's essentially saying I got fucked over. I don't have an avenue anymore. I have to start over. The reason why I noticed the algorithm was like damning me and everything was because I had like a different side channel at the time where I was just posting like random videos for like other things, like just kind of like gaming clips or edits or whatever to like contribute to like that gaming community or whatever. What I noticed on that channel was that my videos there were able to be picked up by the algorithm, were able to be seen by people, were be able to be spread to other people. That was not happening on my main channel at the time. It was not happening on my 4,000 subscribed channel, especially after I made that video about trans singing positivity. That YouTube kept privating and disabling the comments on. So that kind of gave me the wake-up call that like, this channel is no longer viable. I have to start over entirely. So I think for a while before in that kind of downtime between me retiring that channel and between me starting Alchemist Zethiel to be a singer, again, I was mostly focusing on my alter ego of music producing, ZL Exalt. On there, I also learned my lesson. I did not explicitly state I was trans either there. And also my music was able to be picked up by the algorithm there as well. So that also gave me perspective. I don't want to, and besides, the algorithm is like as finicky as it is already, and there's like a bunch of things you could get easily demonetized for on YouTube for like no clear reason whatsoever. That's also why I don't curse as much. One, because it's just not really in character for Zethiel. Two, because I also don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk anything. Sorry. Let me grab a towel. Oh my god. Sumimasen. So imagine on YouTube between 2021 and 2026, I have just not been mentioning I am trans at all. Take a breather. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So I do not explicitly say, because of this, I do not explicitly say I am trans as Alchemist Zethiel on my main YouTube channel. So I'm going back on the script. Because of this incident, I decided to take no risks going forwards. I wouldn't curse, I wouldn't say I'm trans, I wouldn't do anything too risky or out there. I have to be say-so in order to continue on this path. I don't want to start over again and ruin everything. I think Alchemist Zethiel, the channel, has been growing considerably quite a bit since I started streaming and doing more YouTube shorts and stuff. I started becoming a lot more aggressive with like promoting myself in the past 7 months. So yeah, I think I'm definitely gonna continue doing all that. Twitch is not my main platform because, you know, I'm not necessarily primarily a streamer. I don't think. I'm primarily like a music person, so I don't edit my stream clips. I don't post stream clips of myself. I don't, because I'm so occupied between doing my own, trying to release monthly covers, monthly music, and working on a bunch of collaborations, and also doing client work on my alter ego. So my hands are very full already with my music. So I can't really dedicate as much time to YouTube shorts and clips meta or whatever, even though that would definitely be very beneficial for my growth. I just don't have the resources right now to dedicate to that. But I do think I am gonna get like a clip editor eventually, if it comes to that. Like, I think I have a few like game plans, few strategies based on like certain things that might happen, certain like, oh, if this happens then I'll do this, if that happens then I'll do that. It's very like, I've had things very, very planned out. So if it comes down to it, I will probably get like a clip, someone who will help scrub my my VODs. VOD scrubber, yeah, I will get someone to commission to scrub my VODs. And yeah, I think it would be good to also push for like the Twitch, what is it, Twitch partner, Twitch affiliate. I have no idea what like the first level of it is because I think I met the follow level goal for it. I just don't meet the viewer goal because like my viewers are so split between YouTube and Twitch, and then Twitch is mainly there for like accessibility purposes for people who prefer watching on Twitch. So yeah, so yeah, continuing on, getting back on track. However, even though I do not mention I am trans as Alchemist Zethiel main channel, as a workaround, I devised my lore and character concept to be undeniably transgender when you take a look at it. An alchemist who changed his body and voice using alchemy, my Utau voice banks, my Zethiel Zero Utau voice bank having that high voice that is very clearly pre-testosterone, while I have my current post-transition voice. It's like, if you connect the dots, then it's very clear to the people who know. It's like, it's as explicitly trans I can be without being explicitly trans. And then if you go on to like my character Blue Sky and Tumblr, it'll be explicit because I think Blue Sky and Tumblr are less hostile platforms for talking about that. And then my Google Doc is literally just a Google Doc. So even though it's like linked on like my main channel, and you click the funny thing about my lore stream, my lore doc, is that I made 2 different documents from the original document, because there's an original document, right, that has a lot of extra stuff. I made one that's going to be a public document, public lore document, but then I made a separate one, a stream document. That was the one I was presenting on stream. In the public document, it does mention I am trans. In the stream document, it does not. I erased any mention of that. So yeah, it goes as far as that too. Yeah. And yeah, going on to the next point. For most of my past life, for most of my past channel, I was openly trans and not on HRT. Very crazy discrimination. So, I was perceived as a female vocalist even though I didn't want to be perceived that way. Dysphoria crushed me, but I loved singing more than anything. I had many opportunities and a lot more popularity than I have right now, but it was eating me up inside to have to deal with the misalignment of my voice and gender and always getting harassed for it. I was harassed en masse for this. I would be called like a lot of like transphobic things, slurs and stuff like that. People being like malicious about my gender and stuff. Yeah, I would get tens and thousands of views, and sometimes videos I was featured in would get to 1 million views, but that was around 8 or 9 years ago now. At first, I felt bad going on HRT partially because I knew people would miss my old voice. That's why I created the Arcdia persona character and channel to preserve and archive it in a way. And when I was able to recreate her voice using new technology, that was exciting, but I haven't done that as much with her recently, mostly because I don't really miss it anymore. And I think over time, people eventually forgot about the past me also, and they stopped caring because I'm essentially who was that past singer before is effectively inactive. But she's still, Arcdia as a character is still a key part of the Zethiel lore though. Yippee. So yeah. So things are kind of different with Alchemist Zethiel, where I'm not so openly trans as before, but I still kind of am. So it's like, I'm not exactly openly trans. I'm kind of stealth, but also kind of not. It's something you wouldn't exactly know when you first encounter me. And especially if you're someone who doesn't know about what the changed my body and voice with alchemy means exactly. Granted, I still do get mistaken as a girl now and then, but because I know my voice is more stereotypically masculine now, and most especially my singing voice more than my speaking voice, funnily enough, it's easier to correct people than it was before and be understood. And I am also legally male too now, which is nice. It's my gender marker on my documents is now M, which is nice. So I'm a lot, because I am on HRT, because I have gone through the medical transition stuff, because I've also gone through the social transition stuff. Thankfully, so I feel a lot more confident about like my gender now and being able to correct people. And on top of that, so all in all, how I've presented as Zethiel has fostered a much kinder and welcoming community now than it was before. I think also this is in part of me being a lot more selective or curative of what Zethiel brand is, because I don't go out there with like going for the clout chasing popular stuff immediately. I stay authentic to the kinds of artistic and musical expressions I want to convey. So I think part of it is because back then I had a mostly male audience, mostly cisgender male audience, because men typically attracted to women, so they like me and my voice because I have traits similar to a woman at that time, but they get angry and harass me when I say I'm not a woman. So my community at the time felt like something I had to actively fight against. Another important thing at that time is that, I was doing a lot more clout chasing stuff at the time. So I was doing the things that got popular quick because I was just like, I think it kind of was formative to my understanding of like how to take advantage of analytics. Because at first I was literally just singing whatever I wanted. But then I noticed this, like, when certain things would start to blow up more, I would take it, this is typically how you are kind of supposed to do things. If you want to prioritize growth above all else, you look at the analytics, you see what's getting popular. I noticed a specific type of video was getting popular. So I would I would follow those analytics. I would continue doing that type of video, that type of music, but in exchange for my authenticity. So which is why I'm so staunchly like right now as Zethiel, I kind of learned my lesson. I'm like, I don't really want to go that route again. I don't want to go for what's popular just for the sake of it being popular. I want to sing the songs I like in accordance with the overall artistic lore and artistic vision and lore and direction of what is Alchemist Zethiel's story about. Those are the songs I choose in accordance with that. So I stick very close to my authenticity, which I think also is part of what has fostered my current community in being much nicer than it was before. So yeah, nowadays, instead of being like a female, quote unquote female talent with a male audience, perceived as a female talent with a male audience. So, but now I am like, because I transitioned and I am able to have like a lower voice and persona, I'm on the other side of it now. I'm on the flip side now where I'm being perceived as like a male talent, attracting more of like a female audience, or at least like a more balanced audience, which is very new for me because I was really used to like being harassed by like cisgender, transphobic men who were like, you're not a boy, you're a girl, you're a delusional girl, you are a T-slur. I'm dumbing it down a lot, but it was very constant. The topic of my gender was a heavily disputed topic. And I think like, even though I was openly trans for all of that, and I was still able to grow, I think it was specifically because it was only ever mentioned in like my bio or like my descriptions or whatever. I think it was making a video about it that broke the turtle's back. What's the expression? Broke the whatever's back. Broke the YouTube's back. I think it's also because it was a video focused on trans positivity, framing transness in a positive way, rather than a video framing transness in a controversial light. Because there's a lot of videos around that time. I remember that there are content creators who focus on transgender topics, and of course they are able to get an audience around that. But yeah, turtle shell. Oh, it's turtle. Broke the turtle shell's back. Okay. I don't know my idioms that well. What was I talking about? I'm going off script. Yeah, so what was I talking about? People harassing me for my gender. Yeah, because I think it's rather that a more controversial video about transness would have done better, because at the time, I think something that bothered me a lot was that I saw a lot of videos that were like, oh, I regret going on testosterone because it ruined my singing voice or whatever, or like it ruined my libido or whatever it is. It ruined something. The controversial videos get more views. I wanted to fight against that. I wanted to make a positivity video because my experience with being on testosterone, even for that little time, was so life-changing and made me feel really, really happy. I wanted to make a video and show that it's not all bad. It's actually good. But then YouTube was just like, you can't do that. You're not allowed to do that. Trans pride is not allowed here, only trans discourse. And yeah, it's fucked up. And I'm allowed to say fuck now. At least for today. So, also, because I I am transitioned because female to male transition works like this. I also have the privilege of my voice and gender aligning, so there's less harassment. More or less, I present as expected by cis people, so I have some privilege there, but I still express my transness and androgyny in a roundabout way. Yeah. Because something to note is that unless you transition super early, male to female transition does not change your voice in the way that female to male transition does. So that's something I am very thankful for. That's one of the blessings I am able to count. For my case specifically. Though I think there are definitely advantages and disadvantages for both. Because, like, while the voice does drop on testosterone, on testosterone, the breast growth that you grow doesn't lessen necessarily. Like, it's still there. You still have to get top surgery. So I think that's kind of like the inverse of like for male to female transition. Estrogen being able to grow breasts, but it's not able to like fully change your voice. You have to do more voice training for that. And especially I think it's more difficult for singers. I definitely think there's a huge disadvantage that anything that involves trans women or trans femmes who want to use their voice for anything and they have a lot of dysphoria about their voice, that's a lot more of like a difficult thing to deal with, I think. But yeah, there are pros and cons of both types of transition, and yeah, for me, I am very thankful I am able to sing in this way. But it's also like another thing that for some reason, I think I might potentially be an outlier in how my voice has been able to develop on testosterone, specifically my singing voice, because a lot of people remark that going on testosterone ruined their singing voice, or they have a much harder time singing. But for me, I just had so much I'm either like a prodigy or I just was really obsessed with singing and practicing so much, because yeah, it definitely just takes a lot of practice to I think every artist's sound eventually changes. That's definitely true. Yeah, things change with time. Everything changes with time. What was I talking about? This is not my script. I'm just going on like a tangent, but it's something I do want to talk about. Yes, my voice. Yeah, there's a thing where I was, it was in 2022 when I was auditioned and passed for it. So I was only like 2 or 3 years on testosterone. So my voice was a lot higher. And also this is a point where a lot of people's voice doesn't like fully settle either. But I was able to pass like auditions for like a international honor choir thing to perform at Sydney Opera House. So that was awesome. I feel like I want to be able to show people it's possible to sing on testosterone, and it's possible to sing really, really well on testosterone, because that is something I take pride in. That is something I know I am really, really good at. I do think I am, not to toot my own horn too much, but I do think I might be one of the best vocalists out there. in existence, maybe. It's just a matter of finding my audience and finding the right opportunities to come across me by chance. I'll just continue doing what I do. Yeah, so even though your voice can lower on testosterone and you can be able to sing and be perceived as a male according to cisgender standards on testosterone, you still have to put in a lot of training. And sometimes it doesn't fully work for everyone because everyone's voices in transition is different. Everyone's body reacts to hormones differently. So, yeah. For me, just basically my main advice to anyone singing on testosterone is to just keep practicing. Never stop singing. Find inspiration. Take inspiration from others. And I think definitely for me, I take inspiration from like other singers, but if I can probably serve as an inspiration to other singers as well, I hope I am able to show them through like the different techniques I am able to utilize and such. I think it's partially because of like my classical training background in singing and music overall, that I'm able to like apply stuff that I know and continually improve. And also because I have my inspirations in Kamitsubaki Studio, and their vocal technique really amazes me, because I think before, a lot of like the vocalists I knew who are like really good vocalists, it feels like they were quote unquote blessed with like a really good range and kind of an innate sense of like style, rather than it being something that you can develop and train yourself to develop. So discovering Kamitsubaki, I think, was really life-changing for me, because I noticed something a lot about these talents is that their voices at the baseline, they have a very average kind of vocal range, but their vocal expression and technique is really good, really expressive. And for me, I think because like I started losing a lot of like belting range and like as like my voice deepened on testosterone, but I was able to, you know, make up for with train my falsetto about a lot more. I was able to lock in. Yeah, train up my falsetto a lot more. Play around with my technique more. And I feel like if I can display those things, those techniques I've observed myself, and be able to share that with other people who might be looking to me for inspiration as well, that is something that is definitely a goal of mine that I would be happy to do. Alright, next. So, everything, all like the factors leading up to this, me being able to present in a way that is more aligned with cisgendered expectations of gender according to my voice, to presenting as a male talent that attracts mostly female audience, or a queer audience in this case. 3, being very authentic to myself and not clout chasing, being very strict with my creative direction and what's going on. All of this has resulted in a community that is definitely more welcoming and kind than the one I had before. I truly want to thank the Alka Gang for being such lovely people, because I never imagined I would have a community that is actually so accepting and supporting rather than fighting me. Another aspect of my popularity before and now is just that I don't cover popular songs anymore. I just sing what makes me happy and fits my lore and character concept. But I think my strategy for this will change going forward. So I want to cover more popular songs, but specifically still ones that are fitting for my lore. So like Honeymoon, Undo Toi, and Lower One's Eyes, I think we're definitely on the right track for that. Wuthering Waves songs, I guess it depends. Wuthering Waves, it depends. Because it targets a specific niche. But I also kind of need to get more involved into the woo-wah communities themselves, rather than just stalking them from like the distance. I think, yeah, I have to do that. Yeah, Um, so yeah. So next point is about why I am very determined and why things have kicked into high gear in terms of activity lately. All right. So point number 5, I want to get more popular to be a role model for other trans people, especially trans men and trans masks. I feel like you shouldn't call it clout chasing. All musical artists are always trying to find the correct train to go in and jump off of. I think that is an interesting take on that. I think for me, that is... But for me, that's kind of how I viewed things. I mean, at least for me. At least for me, and like how I approached creation in the past versus how I'm approaching it now. It's precisely because I was trying to chase what was most popular at the time. Because I thought, like, you know, getting more subscribers, getting more views, that's always a good thing, right? But there is that caveat that I wasn't being as authentic as I wanted to be. So yeah, it's just, even back then, my music taste was different, but I wasn't always covering the songs that I really liked. Because at the time, I really liked Love Live songs and Ensemble Stars songs and Vocaloid songs, but I didn't get to cover those songs as much because I was always covering like Nintendo video game music, because that got a lot more popular for me. So for what I was doing at the time, I was trying to build my subscribers more. And that was my goal at the time because I don't think I knew any better. I was still really, really young when I was running this channel. So that channel, I think in the end, just became a huge learning experience for my priorities and my strategy. And, you know, I see advice all the time about how to grow your channel as a VTuber or whatever. This is what branding works. This is what doesn't. This is what you should do. This is what you shouldn't do. I think I do have to admit I've taken some of those advice, but some of those advice, I'm just like, I'm not doing that. But I think I noticed there is a very distinct difference between me in prioritizing my own authenticity and lore versus other artists that I think they just so happen to cover popular songs because those songs are popular, so inevitably more people will like them and more people will cover them, and then as a result more people will listen to those covers. I think that's just kind of like a natural kind of thing where their version of authenticity, quote unquote, just so happens to get more views, whereas me, I'm sitting over here in my niche corner. So yeah. It's a drastic difference in priorities from before and now. Because I know for certain what I would describe what I was doing on my channel before was absolutely what I would call clout chasing. And I do not do that anymore. I do not want to do that because I do not want to attract the wrong kind of audience. I became a lot more particular about my artistic vision because back then I was just singing songs with no clear particular artistic vision. Yeah, I was just covering songs. I didn't have like a cohesive theme for like my character or channel or anything. And that's something I have now, and that's something that guides me now. Hope is here. Hello, Hope. Hello. Hello, we are talking about transgender things. Yeah. The TLDR for the previous topics is that... Let me just... Before I move into point number 5, let me go back through points number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Point number 1. I am transgender. I've transitioned from female to male. I was tearing up really a lot when I was talking about this earlier on the stream because I haven't been able to say that publicly for a really long time. Number 2, on my past life, I tried to make a trans singing positivity video, but it completely shadow banned my channel and it was no longer viable for growth. So essentially, YouTube punished me for being openly transgender pride, so I am. So this is why I do not point number 3, this is why I do not explicitly say I am trans as Alchemist Zethiel on my main YouTube channel. So am I, but the other way. Oh, what the fuck, yeah. Yeah, that's why I do not mention transness as much as Alchemist Zethiel. But as a workaround, I do try to like point to things in like my character lore and concept and stuff that point to like, this dude is transgender because the character tagline literally says, an alchemist who changed his body and voice using alchemy. I wonder what that could possibly be. Yeah, that's why I don't take many risks. That's why I just play it safe, and I want to make my channel direction into something that is viable for growth. I don't want to take many risks because I know YouTube will demonetize you for anything. They demonetized me for being openly trans, so I'm talking about it on my side channel. It could be anything. Yeah, YouTube will get you for anything. It's fucked. Yeah, that's why I also don't curse on Alchemist Zethiel main channel. But I'm cursing now because it's funny. And Twitch, like I said, I don't care. I think Twitch might be a bit more lenient on that. And also the VODs don't like exist forever. So for me, it's whatever. And point number 4, for most of my past life, I was openly trans and not on HRT, which opened me up to a lot of harassment because I had like a much bigger audience back then as well because of what I was doing at the time. I was covering more popular songs, but this opened me up to a lot of harassment from cis male, transphobic cis male viewers who were like, "You're a girl, you're not a boy. What gender are you? You are a T-slur," or whatever. Yeah, I was going over that, but that's 8 or 9 years ago now. But it's still heavily impacted me. I was exposed to thousands and thousands of people, probably hundreds of people who would either be confused about my gender or harass me about my gender. Actually, the original reason why I was so aversive to streaming is because there was like a sort of parasociality that developed at that time between me and my viewers that I was really, really afraid of, and I didn't want to. And the thing that turned me off from streaming forever was back then, I was just hosting a random drawing stream, you know? I was just drawing randomly, and this dude came into my chat and kept calling me like a delusional triggered girl or whatever. I banned them. They came back on an alternative account, and they were like, "Lol, triggered girl couldn't handle my comments," or whatever. And I was just like, what the fuck is your problem? So, you know, I banned them. But that was the experience that turned me off from streaming. And that was why I was so scared to start streaming again as Alchemist Zethiel. But things are different now because of the audience I've built, because of me being true to myself and my convictions, and because of the privilege I have to be able to be perceived as a cis male at first glance, even though I do get kind of mistaken for gender sometimes. My gender doesn't get questioned as much as before, is kind of my point. Yeah, I've been getting misgendered so heavily at work recently, so we vaguely understand the sentiment. Things are different now. It makes me happy to see you happy. Thank you. Yeah. But yeah, my workaround for not being explicitly trans on Alchemist Zethiel is the lore. The Utau voice banks, which have Zethiel 0 as having that high pre-transition voice versus my voice now. Yeah, And on Blue Sky and Tumblr, my profiles have the trans flag, and on my character lore document and my toy house and VSona documents, it also states I am trans. So basically, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, I don't say it. Everywhere else, I say it. So yeah, things are different now. Thankfully, I feel like even though I have less popularity than I did before, I have more of like a dedicated audience, if that makes sense. Because I'm seeing a lot more of like, something I have now that I didn't have before is I have like a lot more returning people, a lot more consistent names and supporters I see throughout the years. I get to say years. It's been years as Alchemist Zethiel. I get to see there's people who have consistently been there across the years. And I think this also goes into, yeah, that's true. Yes. This also goes into fan art. There are people who make fan art of me randomly, whether it's for art fight or just out of season. It's an out of season attack. Yeah, but the fact that there are people who take time out of their day to make fan art for me is crazy. Especially because I am still like a relatively smaller creator. But I have a lot of fan art that I did not I feel like I would have never expected that. This is something I have now that I'm rich in now that I never had on like my previous persona. Probably because one, I refused to have a feminine persona. Two, I kept changing my persona. Three, I wasn't as focused on my persona. Whereas here, I am like, I have been extremely annoying to anyone who knows me about how like my entire thing, the only thing I am like giving time of my day, of my brain cells to is Alchemist Zethiel as a character, as a lore, as a channel, as a project, everything. I think it's just like because I'm so authentic and passionate about it that my passion reaches other people and that results in the fan art. Alchemochi, literal Alchemochi. Yeah, and there's also because I commission a lot of fan art. Not commission fan art, I commission art myself a lot. So yeah, that makes me happy. And I think it's definitely proof that even though what I have now is technically less views, it's a lot more support and a lot more of a kind, welcoming, LGBTQ friendly community. May I emphasize. It's really surreal. You know, it's really surreal because when I'm able to present as like a male VTuber and my voice is able to like be perceived as like cis male from like someone who doesn't know me, right? So that's an aspect of privilege that I have. However, this is like really new to me, having like fangirls who like me in like a heterosexual way, which is, it's new. It's new. But it's really funny. Because I'm just like, oh my gosh, the girls like me for being a dude? That's new. That rocks. Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's just like, I think they're just so much more respectful and chill. And you know, also because of you know, everything. All right, moving on to point number 5, which I didn't get into before I did the recap for Hope just now. Point me and me reverting me doing like a more like, what is it? Man, I can curse, but like going into slurs is a bit too far, huh? Not on this channel, not on here. We're not saying any reclaimed slurs today. But I sounded a bit more LGBTQ there. Me, you like me. Nah. Yeah, that's something, that's a type of expression I don't really get to do unless I'm like voice acting a character in a game that doesn't have voice acting. Like sometimes I'll flip up my voice for like, you know, most recently it was the Dragalia Lost stream where I was like, you know, kind of shifting my voice a bit higher for like Zethia, Not, Elisan, Cleo. Slurs is only on main. No, that is true because slurs are like a musical thing, and this side channel doesn't really have as much music. So definitely we're doing a lot of like slurs on main, especially in my covers. We're slurring the notes together to make it very nice and connected and legato. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. That was out of tune. Hey, Zethiel. Hi. I think you missed everything. Like, yeah, today is my more authentic talks. Me detailing my my struggles with being transgender, and having transitioned from female to male and all that, and reflecting on everything. The VOD will be on YouTube, but on my side channel, there's a reason why it's not going to be on my main channel, because YouTube might smite me. It's okay, at least I stopped in to see you. It's good. It's good. Yeah, and I was also expressing how thankful I am to the Alka gang, the ZETHIMOCHIs, for... You can't see me, but I'm making like a heart with my hands, for being such a kind, supportive, and welcoming community, because I'm really proud I was able to foster a community like this by through everything I've done, because in the past, on my past channel, that wasn't the case. I was constantly getting harassed on my past channel. And I felt like I had to fight constantly against my community or kind of bend to their whims or whatever. But now it's just like, because I'm sticking a lot more to my guns about who I am and what I am, or what I do, I feel like that kind of makes the community naturally follow me for me rather than what I was doing before, rather than their perception of me. You deserve the world, Zethiel. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, definitely, because you are definitely among those Alka gang members who I regularly see and very thankful for whenever you stop by my streams. Very thankful for that. All right. Point number 5. Finally getting into point number 5 in this script, document, whatever. Point number 5. I want to get more popular to be a role model for other trans people, especially trans men and trans masks, like myself. At first, Zethiel project back in 2022 was something more fun and not as serious, so I didn't really care about subscribers as much back then. It was mostly to make myself happy and nobody else. But I think things shifted 2 years ago in 2024. That's when I started getting more serious and active with singing. I've ramped things up even more this year with streaming and having a live 2D model and doing even more collabs. I still can't believe that this live 2D model was only in like, what? I've been consistently... I only debuted it in March, which is like, how many months ago already? March, April, May, June, July, August. We're coming up on 5 months of having this model and 7 or 8 months of streaming, which is crazy. Of consecutive regular streaming, which is like crazy to me. Of course, there are like some times where I've taken like a week break because I have to like fly out to have like a trip or something, but like immediately when I get back, I'm back on the grind. It's crazy. It's crazy how much I've accomplished just this year alone. In 2025, I didn't have accomplished as much, but I was definitely planning, it's because I had top surgery. I had literally had surgery in the middle of the year. So, and I was also dealing with some IRL stuff in the beginning of 2025. So that's why my creative output wasn't as much in 2025 than it is now. But now in 2026, we ramped things up a lot, and I hope we can continue this momentum. We locked the fuck in. So I want to become popular again, not just for the sake of popularity itself, but because there's something far greater than myself on the line. So something happened maybe 2 or 3 years ago. There was a trans man artist I looked up to a lot, and his OC was widely beloved by other trans people especially. There's a lot of different types of trans masculinity, and that was the only one I saw that was 1, popular, and 2, actually resonated with me. But that artist has since detransitioned and also retired that OC, which left me feeling incredibly devastated because that was the only role model I had for myself. And I was like, what the hell do I do now? I felt so lost. Because like, okay, I like things within like the anime style, right? And then like there's a specific type of like anime boy, pretty anime boy, bishonens. And then, you know, bishonens, they're a niche, I would say, but I think they can be pretty popular. If Honkai Star Rail is to be believed. But when you make them both pretty boys, but also both transgender, I think that's a combination you don't really see as often. And if you do see it, it's not that popular. So yeah. And it's only this okay, I'll get into that later. So I think I came to the conclusion that if there's no one else, if my role model was no longer my role model, and if I didn't have anyone else, then it has to be me. Which is why I've been working really hard ever since. Which is why 2024 was the year I stepped things up a lot for Alchemist Zethiel, from shifting from a casual singing project to establishing my brand more popularly, more solidly. 2024, I released the cover album, the lore cover album, and this current design that you see, because this was not my first design. But this is the design I made to better express myself and my branding. What is it? And then in 2025, I released my first original song, Regrets of an Angel Resting, which you hear at the beginning and end of each stream. Well, end of each stream. Beginning of the stream, sometimes. It's a gotcha. And then this year, I've done a lot more. I've debuted my 3D mod, not 3D mod, I debuted my live 2D model. I started interacting a lot more with the VTuber and Yutai Tech community and doing a lot more collabs. I participated in a lot of concerts already, a lot of virtual concerts already. And I hosted one myself. There's just a lot more I'm doing this year now, and streaming is definitely the big benchmark or big thing for me personally. So which is why I've been working really hard ever since, and I truly don't think there's any compromise on this. That I cannot stop no matter what at this point, and I have to give it my all. The reason I want to tell my story so badly is because that story is a narrative yet unknown, yet resonates with so many people who are out there but suffering just like me. So I think I've definitely have inspired other like trans masks and trans men creatives too, and even my friends who are trans as well, which really warms my heart. And I feel like in general, I have always felt there's not a lot of trans men representation in like anything. particularly in the stuff that I like, I feel like there just isn't any trans men necessarily, or rather trans men that I can like highly relate to and connect to. And that's why I think like for me, I'm very niche. I like very niche things. So I think everyone who is part of a marginalized group deserves to see themselves or have representation no matter what they're interested in. Because I don't want to have to go to something that I'm not interested in to just for like trans mask representation, because that's certainly nice, but it's not like the main thing I'm interested in. Because for me, first and foremost, I like Japanese music. I like Japanese video games, JRPGs, and VNs, and stuff that is adjacent to that. So like, you know, the VTuber sphere, the EN VTuber sphere that is more influenced by like the Japanese side. Sometimes the Chinese talents as well. I listen to quite a few Chinese stuff. So that is... I also like a very particular kind of aesthetic, which is like the fantasy, passionate kind of songs that I like to cover. And the issue with that is that I don't think there's not just trans men, but there's just not enough men in general with that type of aesthetic or genre of music. So I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part to be what I want to see in the world. A lot of the times I make my covers because I want there to be someone who sings that song in the lower voice range rather than the higher voice range. So yeah, I mainly do it for myself. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be shifting my strategy going forwards. There's some songs that I think are a bit more popular but are still also aligned with my lore, my hashtag lore. Yeah, so some of that still in development, but yeah, you'll go forward with it. And I think before, also at that time when I resolved like, oh, there's no one else, it has to be me. Before, I wasn't actually as involved in the VTuber community. I was really, really introverted, and I was just posting my music and hibernating back into my cave. I'm just like, okay, I'm back from the mines. Have this cover. Okay, I'm running away now. Bye. But now I'm being able to interact more with the community and see what talents are out there, which has also exposed me to other transmask VTubers out there, which is really great. But I think there's definitely, like I said, there's definitely a wide range of trans masculinity that can be expressed. And I want to do my part in telling my own take on it and my own story. So yeah. Like I said, I think I want people to resonate with the artistic worldview and lore I am building through my music, as well as being able to like understand and resonate with my story. I think it's just, I've since developed like a very specific type of artistic vision that I'm very, very solid on that. And I really want to, now I have that baseline and I'm comfortable with that. I think I've properly established through music the type of character in terms of lore and everything that Zethio is, that this channel is about, that I can start to branch out more and I can still feel comfortable about it, because I've already established who I am. Because I think in 2024, even though I had covered songs and I was already covering songs based on like my lore, I really wanted to have like, I really wanted to make that lore cover album because I wanted to have something that says, this is Alchemist Zethiel. You know, like those Spotify playlists, this is so-and-so artist. I wanted to have something that says, "This is Alchemist Zethiel." So before I could like branch out and do stuff, I wanted to first define myself, you know. But now I feel like I've properly defined myself, and my image and worldview and lore that I've built has a very solid baseline so far. And so yeah, the expansion will continue. And I will continue chasing my dreams, chasing my goals, hoping I can reach more people, and raise more awareness about what it's like to be trans. And also because I have participated, there's this Yutaita community project that happens like almost every year, but not quite. The Trans Day of Visibility Chorus. This year we weren't able to upload it on time because we had some last minute complications that ended up causing like a huge delay. So it's still not out yet. But whenever that releases, it would be very nice for people to tune in. And I have participated in it from the very first Trans Day of Visibility Chorus, which was actually before Zethiel, before I became the Alchemist. So yeah, that's me. That's our first Toumei Tea Time. The words I cannot say, the words I refuse to say, but I'm able to say them now. So I hope this gives a lot more context and insight on what I've been through and why I do the things I do, the way I do them now, and my goals and what defines me and all that other fun stuff. So yeah, definitely very deep emotional topic today. Thank you so much, Alka Gang. I am very, very thankful for all of you. We will see you tomorrow back on the main channel to weather the waves. Yes, we will weather the waves. I don't know exactly what we're gonna be doing, but we're gonna weather the waves tomorrow. Same time, 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So yeah, we will see you then. As always, we say, 今日もせつなくんは頑張りました。それからお疲れみ。See you tomorrow. And thank you for stopping by. And I hope if you weren't able to catch all that, I hope you can watch the VOD. Or I'll try to make clips as well. I'll try to make clips as well. If I don't, then sayang. That's on me. Whatever. Bye bye. Otsukemi. Otsukemi.
At the edge of the earth, here the primal lights will fall. A river of memories we shared long ago. I ask for your hand in this melancholy. Can you wipe away tears? Can you set this